Relationship and mindset mastery, Dr. Hello, hello everyone. I see. Let me put on my glasses because I am not going to be able to read all of this. SB 169885. Hi, how are you? Welcome, welcome. Uh, I'm a FA from a strictly religious background and in my mid 30s. I've never had a relationship due to fear mongering and abuse for my family or from my family, or men not approaching me for serious things. Uh, I feel like an alien now, cannot plan a meaningful life alone. Where does one start? SB 169885. This is a such a personal question because it's not like it's everybody's going to have the same issues like you're having. So this is something that I'm going to have to handle. Maybe if we have a little time at the end, I can speak to this. But since we're here today to basically uh, address this particular subject of dating, let me go and speak to this, right? And so what I'm going to do, SB 169885, what I'll do is at the end of this, if you could hang around and I'll answer it as best. But because I kind of I'm tailoring this particular live to people who have maybe had a relationship, they are kind of hurting and they're in pain, and they have now broken up and they have no clue what to do, and some are doing the wrong things. And so what I want to do is to really basically address these individuals at the time, right? It seems like you have never had a relationship, so it's kind of difficult to speak to that right now. So can you, if you would bear with me, we can address that a little later on, hopefully after this. Okay, I hope you understand. Let me I'm going to share the video and your leverage for change. And I'm hoping that other people, I'm not sure how many individuals we have joining us right now because I can't really see from my screen. One person. So if you, SB 169885, where are you joining me from? Where are you joining us from? It's just me right now, but where are you joining me from? Can you type that in the comment section for me? As a matter of fact, since you're here by yourself right now, let me see what I can do with this since it's, nobody else is here right now. And when they come, at least I can start this video. So you're from a strictly religious background and you're in your mid-30s and you've never had a relationship due to fear mongering. I'm assuming the fear mongering is, it's difficult for me to actually assume what it is. So you're going to have to tell me more about that, what the fear mongering is about. Is it that, your parents were kind of rigid in, as it pertains to relationships? And what is it that fear mongering is to you? Because it can be many different things. And so it will have to be something that you're actually suffering from. So if you could just type in the comment section, I can maybe understand what fear mongering means for you. And abuse from your family or men not approaching you for serious things. And I'm not sure what things are. Serious things mean. So it's kind of difficult to answer a question like that when it's so vague. I feel like an alien right now, cannot plan a meaningful life alone. I'm not sure what you mean. plan a meaningful life? Is it that you feel stuck? It seems like that, because now you ask, where does one start? I feel as if I'm worthless and all the men I had been interested in were taken, which is, yeah, I feel like zombie like. So it is going to take a lot of self work for you, because it seems that this fear mongering that you said your family and the abuse from your family, or men not approaching you for serious things. The fear mongering could be that it makes you timid to kind of enter into relationships. Let me put it back on me right here. It makes you timid to enter relationships because of maybe your parents would tell you terrible things about what men want from a relationship, right? And that might cause you to be fearful. I'm not sure if that's what you mean, but you're not responding, so I can't understand. I can't really comment to on what I can understand from what you just wrote. But I'm just going to assume, since you're not responding, that it is because you were told certain things about what a relationship should be like. Maybe it's something to do with sexual, fear of telling you that sex is not good or it's bad, because I know that uh, a lot of individuals suffer from that kind of a problem with their parents, especially back in the day. They would tell their kids that sex is bad and it's a sin, and all that kind of stuff, which kind of damages the child's perception of what a relationship is about. No, there is an extent to where we go overboard in that, everybody is just, it feels like it's okay to just have sex with everyone, right? And so that's going in the opposite direction of that. So now we have people who are afraid of having sex on the one end, and then on the other end, now people are afraid, afraid to have sex, and then people are like almost like promiscuous. They just feel that everybody they meet they should have sex with. So that's have to come to terms with the fact that sex is not a sin. It's not a sin. There's nothing wrong with sex. Sex was created by God, right, to procreate, and also for the man and the woman to come together in a union, right? So therefore, sex is not bad. It's just that a lot of I know a lot of older individuals and some certain religious societies really have they look at sex as really something bad, and that really can mess up, especially when you're the child and your parents kind of live in a certain way and they're saying certain things to you, right, about sex, saying it's bad. So you grow up, because that's all you grow up thinking that sex is bad. But I don't know if that is what you're talking about, again, because I'm not seeing your response. So that's all I can say about that, until you can give me some more details about what the fear mongering was about, what the abuse from your family was about, that kind of stuff. I could give you maybe ideas of what that means for you. But as I mentioned, it's very vague what you wrote, because it's quite vague. So I'm not understanding what exactly you want addressed, and how, and this is going to take really everything that you wrote here is really speaking to the fact that you grew up maybe in a very rigid home, where individuals, your family kind of told you certain things about what they believe a relationship should look like, and maybe you even saw it with your family, your parents. And so the interesting part is that as children, you just kind of accept all of that to be true, and so now as an adult, you're suffering from the results of that kind of upbringing. So I don't know if that helps in any way, but I'm going to start this video now, so that anybody who is interested in knowing how to move on from a broken heart, basically, can now ask me any questions about what I'm going to present now. Today I'm going to be speaking about dating and just basically before you enter into a relationship, before you start dating, because that's really the first step to entering into a relationship, right? And I want to give you some questions that will help you to really kind of be more introspective in deciding and whether it is that you are actually ready to be in a relationship. Because from my experience, a lot of individuals who I work with, what's happened is that they have the tendency to be jumping from one relationship to the next. As soon as something, one relationship ends, they're looking for something else. And a lot of times they're looking for another relationship for all the wrong reasons, right? Okay, so I'm going to speak to that, what I just spoke about, of what I've noticed from a lot of individuals. Nowadays, you've heard it. Maybe you've heard it yourself that if you want to get over somebody, then you have to get under somebody else. Basically, that sounds rough. But the fact is, what they're saying is that you need to go now and find somebody else. You're in pain. You just broke. You just got out of a relationship. But what they're saying is that the quickest way for you to, and I actually heard it. I've heard it. So I know it's something that people say, that the easiest way to get over the past relationship is to get into a new one. And that is a recipe for disaster, guys, because what happens is that whenever you get into a relationship without healing from that past relationship, you are going to be entering something, keep dragging all the baggage from that past relationship into the new one because you are not healed. Right? In every single relationship, there are different reasons why a relationship breaks down. And a lot of times, both partners will have a part to play in the breakdown of the relationship, right? Sometimes it's just that you find out, well, this, we're not compatible, and it's a mutual agreement that you separate and you break up. But sometimes it's one person who will leave the other person and just disappear, right? Or they will use you, or one person will use the other person and then they just leave. So there are different reasons, right? So with all the pain that can occur from past relationship, guys, if you don't take the time to heal and you just go jump from one relationship to the next, what you're doing is really you're basically ignoring and stuffing down that pain of that past relationship and jumping into another one, hoping that that person, this new person that you're jumping into relationship with, is going to be the one to fix you. And I've told all my clients that nobody can fix you. Nobody can take away that pain from you. It is only temporary. Because when you're not with that person, then what happens is that you start feeling like, now you start feeling the pain all over again. It never goes away. It's always there if you do not take the time to heal and process that pain that from that past relationship. So I'm going to continue I'm going to be giving some questions that you should really be asking yourself before you are ready to see if you're actually ready to be in a healthy relationship. Now, anybody can enter a relationship who is not healthy, who haven't worked on themselves and healed from their attachment styles or from past traumas. And usually these attachment styles are as a result of past traumas. So the first question, guys, is did you take time to heal? Losing a relationship, breaking up, divorce, whatever it might be, hurts. It hurts. There is emotional pain that you need to heal from before you move into another relationship, right? It is never good to just jump from one relationship to the next because you're looking for someone else to help you heal. You have to do that journey. That journey is for you alone. You cannot have somebody fix you or make you feel better in the short run, because it never works. All right. And guys, it never works because what you're doing is you're looking outside of yourself for someone to fix you, for someone to soothe you, for someone to take away the pain from you, right? So it never works. So because when you're by yourself in that home or in your room at night and you are alone, then all of those things are going to come back and nobody can take that away from you. You have to heal yourself. You have to actually work on your own healing so that you can fix yourself and be ready for another relationship. You have to process all those feelings, accept what is. Those feelings are real. They are real for you. Even if they don't make sense, they are real for you. So you have to accept accept the pain and really come to terms with it. And whatever you need to do to feel the pain, guys. Don't try and push it away, because pain and you it is something that is real and it's normal after you break up with someone that you loved, because whether the person was good for you or not, you loved that person, right? And so you're going to feel pain. So what I want you to do is really accept where you are at the time and really just take the time and heal from that pain, right? You have to do it. Nobody else can do that for you. Let me pause here. SB 16 169 885. I see your questions. I'll answer them a little later after this video, honey. Give me a little time. I see the other responses. I'll address those afterwards. Okay. Be a little. Wait for me for a while. Okay. So let me continue with this. The first question would be, did I take the time to heal? Right? Because what happens is that each relationship that we have brings in good and bad, right? And so the things that hurt us in the past relationship or was a source of trauma for us, if we don't take the time to heal from that, what happens is that we bring that trauma into the next relationship with us if we haven't taken the time to heal and get that matter resolved, okay? So that is why it is so important to heal from your past, to take the time and sit with yourself. There's some things while you're doing that, while you're in the healing process, guys, you need to do some self-examination to understand what may have gone wrong. Now, there are relationships where nobody has a clue what has gone wrong because the person may not have told you, right? They may have just got up and disappeared, and that's another issue, which you have no control over. But the fact is, if you sit with yourself and ask yourself these questions, what went wrong? Then you can say, well, I don't know what went wrong. And the other individual didn't tell me what was wrong because I didn't think, there was anything wrong. There are lots of relationships that break up and the one party does not know what happened, right? Because the other party never shared anything that was wrong. They just kind of kept it inside and went and then disappeared one day, right? So you should also be able to examine your part in what may have happened. And your part may simply have been that you did not say to that person, this is something that's important to me. I would love for you to try and do this for me, right? Could you take out the garbage? Because when I come home from work is really, could you, help me with this? Could you help me with that? Could you, whatever it might be, if something upset you, then you should be able to talk to that person in a really respectful way and share your heart with them, right? So that things can be resolved. Now, sometimes you do that and they don't respond because they have issues too. So you have to really go through these things, guys, to really think about, did you do your part? Did you share what may have been something that you were not happy with? And maybe something that they could have changed, but maybe at least they had the power to change it because you couldn't change it. You could only ask, right? But did you do that? The reason why this is important, guys, is that at the end of the day, you're learning things from your past relationships. You're addressing these things from your past relationships so that you don't carry it and all of this baggage into your next relationship. And you're also healing in the process of examining these things. So, guys, this is so important. This is so important. Everything, every bad thing that we've gone through, every difficulties that we've experienced, everything, there is a learning, there's a lesson in that. And if we can look at our past challenges and our experiences as lessons, painful lessons, yes, but they were lessons, right? And so if you can look at your past experiences, the challenges that you faced, and use them as lessons, think of them as lessons that you learned from, so that you next time you know what to look out for, you know what not to go into, you know the type of person that you cannot get along with, you know all these things. If you don't learn from it, you're going to go back and make the same mistakes over and over again, and that is like a lost, that pain, all that pain that you suffered from that past relationship, guys, it was like in vain. It was for nothing. All of that was for nothing, because you keep doing the same things over and over and over again. And so this is so important for you to always evaluate your past relationships. What went wrong? What was my part in what went wrong? Was there something I could have done differently? Was there something the person could have done differently? With the recognition that even if there was something that the other person could have done differently, you had no control over that person. So you have no control over that person. That means that I don't want you to hold on to that guilt or that responsibility for that person's actions. That's basically what I'm saying. The action, everybody is responsible for their action. Whatever we do, there is a consequence for everything that we do. And so that's the consequence goes to those people when they do something wrong. It's not your fault. So what I want to make sure that you understand is that when somebody else does something wrong and hurts you, it had nothing to do with you. Even if you might have been acting in a crazy way, it is still up to that person really to choose to act in the way they did. You understand what I'm saying? It is not up to you to dictate to them how they should act, because the person is going to act from what is inside of them, from their mindset, from the way they were brought up, from other experiences that they have. And so if they chose to act in a certain way that was devaluing and was hateful and angry and maybe abusive, then what happens is that they have to work on those things. That is not up to you. You can only be responsible for your actions in a relationship. And so a lot of people, when somebody leaves, they take on that responsibility of blame for the loss of the relationship, when it might not be their responsibility alone. You see, there's a part that each of you play in that relationship. Now, one person will usually play a bigger part, and cause that it was just totally toxic or something. But, sometimes your part might just be that you stayed, or you didn't say anything, right? You didn't say anything. You didn't let them know what you were, you didn't have any boundaries. All those things are your part, your responsibility. So when I say to think of your past relationships and evaluate it and see your part in it, that's what I'm talking about, all right? So let's continue. This self-examination will also make you more aware of the things that went wrong in the past relationship that you're not, that you'll be more likely to be aware of if it begins to happen when you start to date again. But if you just jump from one thing to the next without even any kind of a self-examination whatsoever, then you have not really become aware of what any problems were in that relationship. You've just kind of buried it and jumped into another one. All right. So this is why it's so important to take the time to do all of these things I'm mentioning now. What did you learn from your past relationship? Did you learn that there were some things that you should have done differently? Did you learn that there were some things that you would have done differently regarding to your partner? What did you learn? There's always a learning process. There's always something to learn from every experience you have, whether good or bad. What did you learn? And now you can take what you've learned into the next relationship Whether it be that, I should have spoken up sooner about certain needs that I have, or certain things that they did that I didn't like, or whatever it might be, because what I did, and also maybe I should have noticed some things that were there, some really big red flags that I ignored in the past, and I kept going because I thought that they would change. Maybe you learned that you can't change someone, right? So these are the things that you have to really pay attention to, guys. Have you addressed any attachment traumas that you may have brought into that past relationships? Because you're going to take it next relationship, you're going to drag that in there too. So you need to be able to heal, not only pay attention and question certain things that happen that you can learn from, but you also need to work on yourself to heal your attachment traumas before you enter into another relationship. A lot of individuals go into relationships from one to the next to the next to the next because they haven't healed from their attachment traumas. Then there's some individuals, the anxious preoccupied, for example, who feel the need and also the fearful avoidant to be in a relationship, whether it's a good or bad relationship. And sometimes even just attention, just the attention from a partner of the opposite sex. They will go out and flirt all over the place, male and female, just to get attention. These are attachment traumas, guys. You have to heal from before you can hope to be with a partner and have a healthy relationship. And when you are healed, you are better able to identify partners who has traumas and things that they need to heal from as well. Because the sad thing about it is that there are individuals, guys, there are individuals out there who prey on people who are broken. They can see it from afar. They see your neediness. They see that you just need to be in a relationship. They know that. They feel that. They can sense that. There are people who, they're experts at this, so they go from one place to the next looking for these types of people. Now, when you're healed, you can identify these people and know to steer clear from them. But if you're not healed, you're just going to love the attention and love that this person is paying attention to you and jump into that relationship carrying all the trauma, pains and hurts from every single relationship from your childhood all the way up to the other romantic relationships that you've been hurt into this relationship. And you also go in there expecting this poor person, this new person who has nothing to do with all your baggage and stuff, to fix you and to understand you, all the trauma that you bring into that relationship. That is not fair. That's not fair, because you would not want that to happen to you, right? You would not want that to happen. You would not want somebody to bring all their stuff and expect you to be okay with that. And you should just be okay with putting up with their mess and their trauma bonds that they bring into their toxic behaviors that they bring into this new relationship. And that is why it is so important for you to be a whole, heal yourself from whatever trauma you've suffered, right? You are now an adult. You have the autonomy to do things and heal. Yes, things may have gone wrong in the past. People treat you bad. People did you wrong. But if you sit there and just wallow in that mess, you're just going to be there all the time, right? And you can't just now jump into another relationship hoping that your partner is going to love you and heal you. Nobody can do that but you. Nobody can do that but you. You cannot go into a relationship expecting others to heal you or to fix you, right? Or to make you feel loved. Because if you did not love yourself when you went in there, first of all, you cannot love them in a healthy way. You may think the neediness and the fact that you want to be with them 24/7, 365, or all that, or that you can be there with this person and just give them things and believe that that is love. That is not real healthy love, right? That is not real healthy love. Love makes the other person feel free to express themselves the way they want to, in a healthy way, as long as it's not something that's hurting you or themselves. Love is usually looking out for the best of the other person. And if you're both healthy and you go into a relationship, you will be looking out and be really caring what the other person feels. But it should not be that you're expecting the other person to fix you or to make you feel loved. You should already love yourself going into a relationship. And they should already love themselves coming into a relationship. A relationship should consist, ideally, of two whole persons coming together, right? Not two broken people trying to come and fix, because that's just toxic mess. That's just a toxic mess right there. All right. So these are the reasons why going into a relationship to get somebody to hoping to love you to wholeness, you are giving that person too much power. Imagine this person one day gets up and they're loving, they're loving and giving and caring and everything, and you're happy, and next day they come, they get up and they treat you like crap, and they talk. And guys, sadly, I know of so many people who has or have had this type of experience, this constant up and down in relationships. And the thing about this is that this, the poor individual who is experiencing this from their partner is at the mercy of their partner, because every time the partner treats them good, they're on a high. They're on this high, this emotional high. But when the partner turns around and start treating them bad or behaving badly towards them, then they're on this emotional low, right? And it is all, their happiness basically is dependent on somebody else. And that is not good for you, for anyone in a relationship. When the way somebody treats you, whether it be an intimate relationship like a husband and a wife or a spouse, or it's even with friends or with parents and family members, right? You have to be so solid in yourself, and that is why you need to work on you guys. You cannot give up your power to others so much that however your happiness and your peace is dependent on how they treat you. You have to come to a place where you are healed. And so this is why it is so important that before you go to date, before you go into another relationship and start dating someone else, you should look to process that pain that you've just experienced, so you can heal and be ready for the next relationship. All right, guys? To you know a dog, worse than a dog these days. Now people talk to their dogs better than they talk to people. Yeah. Right. But you're giving that person, that individual, power over how your emotional state, your whole entire life, your happiness. And that is what happens when you do not heal yourself before you go into a relationship expecting somebody else to be your savior. Because that's what you do. You go in there expecting somebody else to save you from yourself. Only you can save yourself. Mm-hmm. All right. The next thing is, as I say, you end up attracting people who are preying on individuals who are needy and need somebody to be in a relationship, right? And guys, these people are out there. I've met them. I've seen them. And if I wasn't at the stage that I was at, I could have fallen into a mess of problems, right? But that is why you need to heal, and you have to get to the place where you know who you are, you know what you need, you need to be happy, you know what you deserve, right? You don't need someone else to make you happy. When you're looking for a partner, you're looking for you to be a mutually beneficial relationship, to love each other, not for one person to have the responsibility of making you happy. And so that's why it's so important, guys, for you to take the time to heal before you go into another relationship. Take the time to heal. You're like a magnet. You're like a magnet, and you think it's because they're interested in you, but later on you find, as soon as they get tired of you, you'll find out that all they were doing was just using you because you were right there ready to be used, right? Okay, so I hope, guys, that you got something from this video. And if you did, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Also, please remember to when you subscribe, guys, as soon as I upload something new, you will be notified. So it's really good to subscribe, as well as liking this video for me, because what it does is really to help me with the people who actually get shown this video. in the feed, in their feed, right? So please, I'd really appreciate that if you do nothing else to. So guys, as I was saying in this video, please, it really does help my channel to grow and to for other people to see it when you like the video. And just when you have the, what is also important is that you hit the notification bell, because apparently, even if you subscribe, if you don't have the notification bell selected, if you don't hit the notification bell, you won't get notified when I do these lives. And I'm really trying now. I bought this new fandangled software to really give you guys a better experience when I do my lives. So I'm looking to do more lives to really kind of help you along in your journey of healing and in your relationship and in your life challenges that we all face. And I'm not, although I'm an expert in certain areas, guys, I'm also someone who has lived a while, and I have experienced a lot. And so this, I'm also giving you my personal experience, lessons from my personal experiences, as well as other people's experiences that I've learned from as well, right? So I'm hoping that to do more of this. So please hit the notification bell. That way, as soon as I do a live or announce a live, you will be notified. So Sorachetti, I hope I'm pronouncing that well. Good. So welcome. Thanks for popping in. You might have to, because it's like I'm going on towards the end right now. I'm going to be, yeah, you're going to have to go view it from the beginning. So let me answer. I promised to answer SB. Hold on. Yes, the eyes are getting a little old and will need some glasses. I was not allowed to even talk to a man. So, I've been yelled at, emotionally blackmailed, threatened with murder. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry to hear that. I think I just stopped at 14 emotionally. And when it comes to development, what a normal human being goes through in life, I wasn't allowed to have relationships, friends, vacations, and identity. I'm so sorry to hear that, SB 169-885. I hope now that you're an adult that you now recognize that you can seek the help that you need, though. I really don't, I would really be sad to hear that you stay where you are, right? So I hope that you really reach out for some help. And yes, of course, this is what I do. So of course you could reach out to me, but your situation is really very it's something that cannot be, just by watching videos. Let's put it that way. It's not something that just watching videos can help. So, it's so much deeper than that, especially since this has been happening from you were a child, right? You've grown up with this background. It's now for you to learn, come to a place to become more self-sufficient, because it seems that you never even learned to kind of become self-sufficient. And so I'm guessing that is the reason why you never really had relationships, because you were not allowed to. Maybe, I don't know what the situation was, but it is something that I believe that you, and the fact that you weren't allowed to have relationships, friends, vacations, and identity, that is emotional abuse for a child, because that it really puts you in a really bad place to be successful as an adult. Really, you cannot be an adult when you cannot make decisions. You don't know how to socialize with other people. You're not even able to maybe manage to go on a vacation by yourself. So that is really a lot of things to process, and you're going to need someone to help you with that. SB 169-885. So I hope you find the help you need, and I hope that I'm going to be doing a lot of videos, and even with those videos, though, SB 169-885, these will just scratch the surface. There's so much more depth to what has happened to you that you will need to really do it. It's going to be more like a personal. It's going to be it has to be a personalized thing for you. You just can't learn with a generalized thing like what we do. Most people do on YouTube. All right. So I'm hoping that you will really consider finding the help that you need. Okay. Of course, I'm here with all of these things. Whatever I can do to help you in whatever way I can. Please come and join these lives when they come on, and I'll answer whatever I can in the way that I can. All right. So Sorachetti. Welcome, welcome. Guys, where are you all logging in from? Could you type that in the comment for me? I'd love to know where you're all coming from. So Sorachetti says, recovering FA here. I'm in a new relationship with a guy I really like, and he's expressed he is in and interested in me. I'm afraid I'm going to mess it up. Any advice is welcome. Thank you so much. Surachati, that is such a really, really big question, because it is so, there's so much that goes into having a relationship, right? What I would say to you is that it's a new relationship with a guy you say you really like. And he seems like he's interested in you. And of course, you must be interested in him to be in that relationship. From what I know of your fearful avoidant, of course, is that your tendency oh, Germany, oh, great. Your tendency is to, when you feel too emotionally connected to somebody, you will get very uncomfortable. If that is your tendency, am I correct with that? Tell me if I'm correct. If you're a fearful avoidant, usually that's what happens. And that's why your relationships are usually, hi, so New England, Germany, you're SB 169-885. You're from Germany. Okay. And you're from England, Sorachetti. Good to have you guys. So Sorachetti, you're a FA, and you're in a relationship with this new guy. He seems to be interested in you. But as I was mentioning before, for somebody who is a fearful avoidant, the tendency is to, as soon as you get connected to the person and you feel that they're getting too close, you're getting too close, you get very fearful that somehow it's going to be messed up. And I see that expressed in your first, this is your expressed that that you feel that you're going to mess it up, right? And that's probably usually what happens in your relationships, and it is because you haven't really resolved your attachment style and how to really navigate relationships, because it is something that you have to learn to become more comfortable with your emotions and recognize that not everyone is going to leave you. And that the problem is that you feel this all the time, because this is what happened in your childhood. You didn't feel like you could trust anyone. You don't trust relationships. And so before you get hurt, basically, or you will run in the opposite direction. So you're going to have to go through these difficult, intense feelings, because it is a kind of anxiety that you feel when things get too emotionally intense. It's a kind of anxiety that you feel. And so when that happens, you have the tendency to want to leave. And you do actually, you will leave. And then, it is something that is just, you get bored. Yes, you get bored, because it also depends. You have to really be able to address the reasons you get bored, right? So there are questions you're going to have to ask yourself. Write down what it is that makes, what do you think why do you think you're bored? What are some of the things that, you have to really connect things in your mind, because right now, most people in a relationship never connect their emotions with what the thought was that came to mind when that emotion came about. And so when you start feeling that you're bored, you have to now stop and think, why am I feeling bored? Is this logical? Does this make sense? Is this true? Is this true? If you feel that maybe the person, I don't know what could be a cause why you feel bored. I don't know. But ask yourself, is this true? Does this make sense? And you have to talk your way through these things, because you have to connect that emotion with the feeling of when you feel bored and what you are thinking at the time. All right? That is a start. It's not the whole thing. And it takes so much more. It takes so much more Sorachetti. But so you really should work with someone to help you to work through these things. I do have clients that I work with who are fearful avoidants, who have that same issue. they start getting bored, and when they are in relationship, or they start getting feeling as if this person is going to find out something about me that they think I'm not good enough to have a relationship, and they're going to leave because you don't trust relations. You don't trust that people will be there for you in the hard times. For SB 169-885, after a while, as a FA, after a while, you get really bored of the partner. Is this SB? I think really bored. But SB, you're the individual who SB Germany SB. I'm guessing you're assuming this since you've never really had a real relationship, is what I'm thinking. Bored of the partner, really bored. I'm not sure, but let me know what you're thinking, because I'm seeing that you say also as a FA, after a while you get bored of the partner. I think so. You're thinking that you get bored, but I haven't really experienced that as yet, is what I'm understanding. So guys, we're now at what is it? What time is it now? 6:30. We're into 46 minutes. So any other questions, guys? Let's see. SB, due to perfectionism, wanted to have this wow effect or honeymoon phase. Do have TA parts who behave like this. Actually, if you do have both sides, the dismissive and the anxious, and for the perfectionism or the honeymoon phase, not wanting the honeymoon phase to go away, is usually more for the anxious. They have a kind of like a fantasy. The anxious, preoccupied individual has kind of like a fantasy kind of belief of what a relationship should look like, right? So that would be more the anxious, SB 169-885. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining me, and please remember to like the video for me, share it, whatever it is, subscribe and hit that notification bell. That way, as soon as I want to really start doing some more frequent lives to really help you guys out, and so please hit the notification bell. That way, as soon as I put up a new live, I schedule a new live, you will be notified. Okay, guys? So take care and have a great, I'm not sure what time it is over there in Germany. And Germany, let's see. According to the attachments. Thank you. No, I don't have anything to do with limerence, SB 169-885. But I know that limerence is usually the thing of the attachment style is the anxious preoccupied is the one who usually is in this state of limerence. So that's the anxious who would be the one. Okay, guys, you're sleeping soon. Okay. Okay, so you're welcome, Sarachetti, and I'll see you guys next time. But it's for the limerence is usually the anxious, preoccupied guys. So take care and have a good night. SB 169-885 and Sarachetti. See you next time. Take care, guys. Bye bye.